We won't have to worry about the guards here. Good. We can talk. What is it? Sorry. It's just that you're easier on the eyes than any other Delta Force operator I've met. Is that your idea of a compliment? Absolutely. Anyway, what did you find out? Plenty. Only one researcher is left. James Harks, aka Jimmy the Wizard. Head of Metal Gear development team. Supposed to be a genius. Get his location. Uh-huh. There are barracks to the north of this building. He seems to be held there. In the barracks to the north of here. Got it. One more thing. There are 4 mercenaries working as the GLF's military consultants. Slasher Hawk. His signature weapon is a giant boomerang. Marionette Owl. Expert assassin and master of nocturnal combat. Pyro Bison, who practices his own scorched earth tactics with a massive flamethrower. And their leader, Black Art Viper. Viper. Poisonous snake. They first appeared on the scene around 2 years ago. Made a round of hotspots around the world before they set up Hind-D. They're very, very good. Rumor has it they're former U.S. Special Forces. American. That was good work in such a pretty short time. I tried my best. Was that good enough proof for you? Let's just say you convinced me you don't need me babysitting. What else? Anything wrong? Yes. Like the fact that we Americans are not welcome around here. Why? They think that the U.S. is blocking their independence, that the deployment of peacekeepers is an armed invasion to extend U.S. control over Gindra. That's why they have such faith in the general, who wants to end U.S. interference and win independence. I thought our mission was for the good of the people of this country, but what we're doing may be... Chris, why don't you join the military? What? Well, maybe because I wanted something concrete. Something concrete? Like justice or discipline. All the things we need to keep going. Chris, the only thing you need on a battlefield to keep going is the instinct to keep living. Yeah. I don't want you to die. But think about completing the mission. About going home alive first. Yeah, I guess so. I will, for now. I'm going after Harks. He must have some valuable information on Metal Gear. Okay. I'll open the doors of my card 3. You can trail me. Chris. What? You're going to be okay? Don't worry. With this outfit on, no one will spot me. That's not what I meant. I know. Thanks. Ladies first. Oh, they're actually going to make us watch her all the way, aren't they? Huh. Actually, I really do like the sequence just because of how poorly timed all the enemy soldiers are. Just missed the camera. And just missed by this guy. So I think that actually might be scripted. Which might be their intent of a joke, but I can't tell. Snake. Rescue James Harks, the chief of Metal Gear development team. Harks is held in the barracks to the north of the watchtower you're in. First, follow Sergeant Jenner's lead and get to the north side of the tower. Oh my god, that was almost 5 minutes of cutscene. Why? Ugh. This is a Game Boy Color game. You don't need that. Either way, hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Ghost Babel Metal Gear Solid. In the last part, we went through some sewers and now we're in the Watchtower again. We were in the last part. And now we're back in this room, which you might remember I actually cut to the north last time in order to skip the alert phase. But technically speaking, this time around, I don't think you can do that. There are some that turn on and off like this one do, but I'm not exactly sure of how you're supposed to get out of here. I've always just made a mad dash for the door that Jenner just went through. Especially when it does this and the alerts immediately cancel. That's handy. Okay, and here we got a new type of security camera. They won't actually send out an alert signal when you get spotted by them. They'll just plain shoot you. Because as you notice, they actually have machine guns on them. Thankfully, it does very little damage, only chip damage, but if there's a lot of them, it can get annoying. And as you can see, I tried to be smart and go underneath them, but it didn't work. And here we got chaff grenades. These are an EM disruptor type grenade, we'll be seeing from here on out in the series. They disable electrical appliances like cameras. They'll come in handy later on. And now we're back in this giant spiral room we were in last part. Which means I have to walk all the way back to that side. Yay. The one thing I do want to say about this game is, you've heard it a bit at this point, but I actually really like this game's soundtrack. It's a fairly small soundtrack, all things considered, but it's pretty good stuff. I especially love the version of the Metal Gear Solid main theme that the game has whenever we clear a mission. I don't know why, but that's a really good chiptune to me. In specific, at least. Yes, don't pay attention to the snake in the hole. Oh, I really should have phrased that better. Oh, boy. Either way, we want to make our way up to that door that Jenner just went through, which is up here, thankfully. And now we're back in the elevator room. Now, you actually do have to take the elevator down, but I have had playthroughs where I went north here. And, I got lost for a bit. It's not fun. Also, in case you're wondering why I mashed the button there, I swear it makes the elevator go faster, but it probably doesn't. I'm probably just thinking of the actual Metal Gear Solid. Which, if you haven't noticed at this point, this game seems to ignore the Solid series as a whole. It seems to be an alternate continuity where something happened after the original Metal Gear 2. And even then, it's even debatable whether or not those happened, because they only mentioned Outer Heaven, which was Metal Gear 1. And now we're back in the room where we got the gas mask. Just go to where Jenner went. I'm probably going to end up switching between her names, calling her either Jenner or Chris. Just going to tell you that right now because that's how I actually usually speak. I usually switch between the two in real life. Mind you, I think a lot of people have something like that. Just depends on who they're talking to. Like, sometimes some people I know refer to their bosses by their last name, but, like, their coworkers by the first. Which is, also a sign of respect and authority. At least that's the way I look at it. I don't know. I've actually never had a real job yet. Working on that, though. Especially during the summer. Which it might actually be summer by the time this gets uploaded. Probably, considering the fact it's the late March right now. Either way, cutscene. The barracks where Harks is kept is to the northeast of here. Got it. I'll have to head east from here, and I'll be okay. What about you? I'll check out the power plants. The power plants? It supplies all the power for this fortress, but there's something strange going on. Like what? It's an important installation, sure, but there's too much traffic. I'm gonna take a look, see what's up. Could be Metal Gear. Crass. I'll be alright, don't worry. I seem to have partially lost my snake voice. You watch your back, Snake. Metal Gear. Okay, I think I got it back. Snake, leave the plant to Jenner and head for the barracks. Head northeast, you're there. Something tells you that's not grammatically correct. Either way, for the rest of the mission, we're actually outside, which is kind of random. I kind of saved this for a separate mission. And we're actually coming up on one of my least favorite parts of the early game. Because, see, here's the thing. Obviously, the Metal Gear series up to this point that we've seen has had puzzles. However, even though we haven't seen many yet at this point, Ghost Babel is probably the most puzzle-focused out of the main series. Oh, it's not technically main series. Out of the series. Franchise. There we go. That's the word I should use. Because what we have to do is, as you saw, that guy just pressed that switch to open up these doors. However, the moment he goes through them, the doors will close. So we need to figure out a pattern in which we have to press these buttons to open up all the doors. However, it's not like you only have to press each button once. You actually have to just press buttons and eventually figure it out. By the way, if you go in here, there is some ammo. I think there's actually chaff grenades. Yeah, they are. So, let's begin pressing buttons. In, fast, forward, because this took like 3 minutes. I do believe the switches are randomized depending on your playthrough, but I'm not entirely sure about that, because as you can see, they each do a certain thing, but I'm not sure if that certain thing is consistent, because I always just mash buttons and hopefully I'll find it eventually. There probably is a set way you can go about it, but hell if I know. I was never good at puzzles like this unless there was a set pattern to it. As you can tell by just me baffling around. But I eventually got it. It took about 2-3 minutes, but, well, that's why I fast forward. And welcome to the kennels. Don't walk near that bird because it'll wake up the dogs. But especially on this screen, because if you get approach that bird, it'll wake up that soldier, which is not fun. And the dogs are actually... Well, first of all, I don't think the dogs count as an alert phase, but they're dangerous. They are very dangerous. Why? Because they're fast, they chase after you, and they can easily stunlock you, actually, and do about maybe a 4th or 5th of my current health. Thankfully, their hitboxes are bigger than they are, so you can just knock them out like that. And I'm not sure if knocking them down after a knockout counts as a kill. Either way, the dogs are the most lethal thing you've seen so far, so be careful with them, but they're not too bad in comparison to some other enemies we've seen already in the franchise. Or we will see eventually as well. Oh, what the hell? Was that a boomerang? I think it was a boomerang. Either that or a really weird-looking crow. Either way, some ammo and rations in here if you need them. I'm actually going to grab that ration again off-screen. Oh, no, we got grenades. Grenades work as they did back in the previous Metal Gears. You throw them a set distance in front of you, and their explosion does damage. However, unlike, say, Metal Gear... all the Metal Gears, I think, that we've seen at this point, the grenades do not have a target reticule to show you where they're going to land. Which, you know, is realistic. And make sure you grab a good amount of them, because you're going to need them coming up, and oh god, dogs, why? Yeah, see, look at that, did like a 4th of my health. 4th or 5th, maybe even a 6th. I don't know, I'm not good at fractions anymore. Anyway, we press this button and we open up the door on the other side. So what I'm going to do is cut back to here. We went right on this screen just a few moments ago, so now I'm just going to head left. You do need to go both directions at some point, so I just went right because I think it's a bit easier. Don't walk into these guys, these crows. Why? They'll alert the guards. And don't do what I do here, because that alerts them. Because like Solid Snake, this game does actually have sound effects for things falling down and such, or you knocking against certain wall types. Which you can use to your advantage to lure guards away, yes. But as you just saw, I think you actually saw it a couple times this part, if you knock a guard down and another guard is within a... If another guard's close enough, they'll hear the guard falling down, so watch out for that. Oh, these... Whoa, how did I dodge that? Just gonna run up. Oh, Lord. I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm not here. And I'm just gonna press the switch, because why the hell not? And coming up here, we got, I think, more grenades and a ration. So use any if you need them. Since I'm not on max health, I might as well. Grab any grenades if you need them. And head through the door with level 2. And get the grenades out, by the way. You're gonna need them. Solid Snake. Who's there? A shirtless man.
I am Slasher Hawk.
One of the mercenaries that decimated Delta Force.
That's right, a boring little cleanup job.
How do you know my name?
Your reputation precedes you. Solid Snake. It's a very special name to us, the Black Chamber.
Black Chamber.
Unlike the pawns here, we have no interest in the General's ideals or bid for independence. But let me tell you this. Black Chamber, not Foxhound, is the world's best special force unit. And I will prove it to you with your dead body. Take this.
A boomerang.
That's an overused white man's name.
My people call it the Wiggly? Well, how do you pronounce that?
This is a weapon of proud lineage, and it's your guide into the afterlife. Outer heaven is what you're remembered for, and outer heaven is where you'll be buried. Start digging!
Slasher Hawk is the game's first boss, and he likes to throw his boomerangs around in a pretty hard-to-dodge manner. And you need boomerangs. You need grenades to damage him, but thankfully they do a pretty decent chunk of his health, because, first boss you only have 20 grenades. The first phase, you only really have to worry about his grenades flying around. Usually he'll throw out the one that goes into a weird Z-like pattern before the one that's straight at you, but sometimes he'll vary that out. Best strategy is just use a ration if you need to. He's honestly really easy. And now we're in phase 2.
This hawk is my totem and my protector. As long as it flies, I will fight. Go!
Phase 2 adds the hawk into a mix, so dodge him. Though I think at this point he actually rarely, if ever, throws his boomerangs, so honestly phase 2 is easier than phase 1. Yeah, he still throws his boomerangs, good. I was forgetting if he did or not. Slasher Hawk, not a very hard first boss, but he's more formidable than anything we've seen so far in the game, really, or even than some of the previous Metal Gear titles. And that's the end of that stage. Hawk, why me?
You, all of you, took away my family.
What are you talking about? I love this song, by the way.
I grew up in Australia with the people you call Aborigines. But that's not what I was born as. I was abandoned. Parents took me in, raised me against the elders' opposition. So cold. Everyone was always so cold to me. I'd go where the talking and laughter was, and they'd scatter, leave me with the ashes. I tried. I observed the customs, the taboos more than anyone else. I tried to win their acceptance, but when my parents died, they turned me out. Wouldn't let me be one of them. From then on, I drifted all over the world, and everywhere I went, I was an outsider. No one accepted me. But Viper was different. He took me in, accepted me into Black Chamber. It was my home, and you, all of you. What? I'll be dead, but Viper, I know that Viper will avenge me. Taste it, our bitterness, our grief. Huh? No funeral pyres, Snake. It's forbidden. This hawk will carry my spirit home. Yes. Finally. Going home. Will they let me in this time?